Pitch Clock is coming at you right here. One of my very favorite episodes that we have maybe ever recorded. We have the incomparable Jane Leavy as our guest for our baseball analyst. We have a really great game of trivia between Chris Cody and myself. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we also don't dive that deep into what's happening right now today in Major League Baseball. So I'm going to explain it as quick as I possibly can. You have a crazy AL wildcard race where now it's the Tigers as the final team in the wildcard race, sitting in that final spot. You got the Astros just a game behind them. That's alternating back and forth as the Guardians and the Mariners have ended up taking the lead in their divisions. The Mariners have clinched a playoff berth. They're so fun. You got Cal Raleigh over there. In my view, he's the player who should win the MVP. I'm telling you right now, that's what I believe. He should win the MVP over Aaron Judge. That's not to say that Aaron Judge isn't amazing. Then you've got the National League, where there are still 5 teams fighting for the final wild card spot. You got the Mets in control at the moment, but the Diamondbacks and the Reds just a game behind them. The Cardinals are still alive. Hey, the Marlins are still alive, technically, for now, but we'll see what happens as of tonight. You got 4 games left in each league. I'm doing this as quick as I can. You obviously have on the National League side as well an MVP race that's going on. It's probably going to be Shohei Ohtani. I'm of the belief it should be Kyle Schwarber because what he's done with the Phillies has been really amazing. Anyway, that's what's going on in Major League Baseball. All sorts of teams are ready. We're going to have a lot of fun on the Pitch Clock right now as we get to some trivia with Chris and an incredible interview with Jane Leavy, of which went actually an hour. We're going to post the full interview as well. So you get your clips here in this episode of the Pitch Clock, and you will get, I said Pitch Clock, it's Pitch Clock, and you will get the full interview with Jane Leavy on our YouTube playlist. So be sure to go check that out if you're just listening on the audio side. It's incredible. She's incredible. What a joy. And yeah, hey, baseball coming at you now. Welcome to the Pitch Clock. Here's the pitch, a 2-part baseball segment
combining a nostalgic baseball trivia game and an interview with an expert.
This is the Pitch Clock. The Pitch Clock is back for the final episode of the regular season.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah. Baseball.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, we're getting close. I mean, we're going to be here for the postseason. Don't you worry about that. We will be here throughout. Today, we have a very special guest that I will tell you the fans of the Pitch Clock and just of the Le Batard Show in general have been clamoring for. Wow. That is not necessarily the man who is about to dish out our trivia, but we are very happy to have him here. Ethan is delivering our trivia today.
Man. I was like, the fans want me?
They've been clamoring for
I don't
you.
believe
Good
that
job,
at all.
Ethan. You're here.
Appreciate
Ethan,
that.
you're here. You show up, you do the job, and that's what's happening right now.
I
You're
just come here,
wearing
man.
a San Francisco Giants hat,
Do that
hoping
often.
for a wild card run from them. Maybe
Yes.
we'll get into that with our guest, but I'm going to tell you this. We probably won't. That's a hint. Ethan, tell us what our trivia game is today.
I'm going to test you guys on the postseason home run leaders since 2000. In front of you, there are logos and a total. You have to tell me the player, and you have to match the player to the total. So, there's a bunch of the same team on here. You have to tell me which player from that team is in which spot. And also, just so you know, some of these players have played in multiple postseasons with multiple teams.
Yeah.
The team that their logo is the team they have the most home runs with.
Gotcha. I love this idea. I love where your head's at. There is a 0% chance that we are going to be able to do this without just throwing out names and you letting us know where they go.
Maybe bonus
That's
points if we do.
Yeah.
pick it where
Yeah,
it goes.
okay.
Sure.
You get a bonus. You get 2
You get
points.
a bonus.
I have
a half.
I was gonna do this as a 3-strike category. A 3
Yeah, I
strikes
like
and you're
3
out.
strikes. I like 3
Okay.
strikes. I like 3 strikes.
How about if you get it in the exact spot and you have a strike, you can take a strike off the board.
Ooh, I like that.
This is
give
not
yourself,
confusing at
no,
all.
No. You give yourself a bonus strike.
So,
is
yes.
essentially what
So
it is.
if you
can nail it.
Got it.
But here's the risk.
It's turned into a Billy game.
Hold on. Here's the risk. If you guess what spot it's in and you get the player right, but the spot wrong, it's a strike. You see what I'm saying?
You're right. Yes.
Let's go ahead and do this. Chris, do you want to take the first
Yeah,
guess?
I'm gonna have Cody tee off here.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm going to do Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper is
And I
the
would've guessed-
Philly
I
with
would've guessed-
17
Okay.
at the bottom.
I would have guessed 21. So, good thing.
I'm going to go ahead and give one that I know is on this list. It's George Springer.
Yes, George Springer is the third Astro on this list with 19.
Albert Pujols.
Yes, Albert Pujols is the Cardinal that is on this list.
I should have saved it, but I knew that was on.
Yeah, it's remembering the fact that this is actually since 2000 that is going to be the big one here. And that actually helped me think of another one, which is 100% on this list, is David Ortiz. Big
Yes, he is the Red Sox with 17.
It is now my absolute pleasure to welcome in this guest to the pitch clock. Seemingly everyone's favorite baseball guest we've ever had on this show. My opinion, the most delightful guest we've had all of the calendar year of 2025. And now she's here on the pitch clock. Jane Leavy welcomes us and joins us here on the pitch clock. Jane, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me about some baseball.
Boy, you're my now number one favorite bro.
Oh,
so
number one favorite bro. I'm putting it in my Twitter bio. Jane Levy's number one favorite bro. So thank you for that. Jane, I'm so pumped to dive into some baseball stuff with you here. And we're going to start in some stuff that sort of surrounds this season and then get into some of those all-time stories with you that I know you love to tell and I know the audience loves to hear. So with the postseason approaching, we're just 4 games away from this regular season coming to an end. I just wanted to see what teams in modern baseball here in this season that have brought you some joy watching them this year. Who are some of the teams that stand out that you'd maybe like to see make a run?
not my teams. Let's put it that way. It's not the Yankees, because how do you start a season without a third baseman? If you start a season without a third baseman, you deserve whatever you get. And it's not the Mets, who were really my team briefly when my father was still alive. My father was a New York Giants fan who transferred his love to the Mets. And when he was dying, and he was in a considerable amount of pain, the only thing I could think of to distract him was to read him game stories from the New York papers, the Tabs and the Times, whatever. So this was in 2003, and it was not a great Mets year.
No.
Not as bad as this year, but it was not a great year. And literally his last words to me before he went to have the surgery that he wouldn't recover from were, "Oi, the Mets."
No.
Yes.
Oh man, if you could put that on a T-shirt first of all, and second of all, what an almost fitting story. That's in some ways very beautiful.
I mean, what's missing, and I would say it's equally true of my Yankees and my dad's Mets, is the lack of attention to fundamentals, the inability to do the basic things I was taught. Guys, let's start over. Remember, when a ground ball is coming at you, even if it's a wiffle ball, you bend your knees, you put your hands down on the ground, and you wait for the ball to come to you, right? They can't do it. They just can't do it. And contrast them with the two teams that I find I'm watching and rooting for, the Brewers,
Yes.
the Guardians.
Yes.
Guardians are stunningly now leading the Central Division, and the Brewers have the best record in baseball. So what's different about them? Other than that they don't have the money to spend on whoever they want, they're teams. They play like teams. And I don't think you can accuse the Mets of that this year.
Certainly not.
No. And Lindor, the shortstop, who I like a great deal, he said, as long as players are paid through analytics and they're paid to do the things that are analytically valued by teams, hit home runs, who cares about defense? That's what you're going to do, because that's how you get paid in this game. And in order to change it, they're going to have to pay people and say, this is valuable.
Yep. No.
We're going to pay you for the things that enhance teamwork.
Let's get into some other stuff here, because I know there's a player you want to highlight here, and I've been referring to this as a bit of a golden era for stardom in baseball starting to return, because you do, despite the fact that, team-wise, we're looking at sort of three results in the walk, the strikeout, and the home run. There have been some really great stars of all sorts of different sizes, skills, and shapes in the league. And I wanted to sort of pick your brain on a player who stands out to you as someone that has had a really great year or, again, has maybe been a joy to watch.
Well, Jacob Young, the center fielder for the woebegone Nationals, a team that spends no money on anybody or anything, and who was injured much of the year, so he's only had 319 at-bats because he was out injured. He stuck a pitchfork in the Mets the other night with 2 catches at Citi Field that were miraculous. But what was most astonishing, the catch where he brought back a home run, the ball was in his glove, that fell out of his glove as he fell to the field, and he kicked it with his spike back into his glove for the out. There's a case of paying a guy, probably not much, I don't know what his salary is, to do something that has value in 2 ways. It was a part of the game that is woefully unappreciated these days.
Yes.
You know, when's the last time you can think of that a playoff series was determined by a play that wasn't a home run or a strikeout, and where that's the thing you remember?
Wow. That's an incredible observation. It's funny. The first thing that comes to mind is the old wild card game where Matt Holliday on a sacrifice fly slid in at home plate. And maybe that was even a winner go home post the regular season. But God, we're approaching on 20 years since that was the case. His children are in Major League Baseball now. So it's a great point that you make where so much of it is ultimately like who gives up the home run. Chris, there are 1, 2, 3, 4.
There are
5,
20
6,
names
7.
on this list.
Okay, so there are 16 slots left.
Jose Altuve.
Jose Altuve is the #1 postseason home run hitter since 2000.
Doesn't he wear
with
number 27?
a remarkable 27 home
That's
runs.
why when I first flipped this over, I was like, oh, he's putting their jersey numbers
Yeah,
next to us.
that's also pretty crazy to think about, considering he's like 5'6".
Yeah.
So there's a player that I want to go with, but I'm a little bit afraid of the Yankees ones right now.
So avoid him.
I guess I'll go ahead. I'll stick with the Red Sox. I'll go Manny Ramirez.
Yes, Manny Ramirez is the other Red Sox on this list with 16 home runs in the postseason.
I'll go Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, that's a good
He's
one.
probably 21.
Kyle Schwarber has 21
Yeah.
home runs in the
I was
postseason since
thinking that him
2000.
and Bryce
Unbelievable.
flip-flopped. I thought Bryce would have had 21 and Schwarber had the 17.
All right, I know somewhere on this list with the Dodgers has to be Freddie Freeman.
Yes, Freddie Freeman has 14 postseason home runs since 2000.
I just had a name pop into my head. Don't know if this guy... I know he's played for the Astros. Don't know. I feel like he's hit a lot of home runs. Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah, he's definitely here. No?
First strike.
Wow.
Lord.
Okay.
Yordan.
And I'm trying to think of the guys who were on. Is one of these Bernie Williams?
Bernie Williams is not one of those names.
Fuck me, man. I got too trigger happy there.
I'll go Mookie Betts.
Yeah, good one.
Mookie Betts, not on this list.
Wow.
Well, okay. No, I'm just going to get on the board. Alex Bregman has to be on this list.
Alex Bregman, I have listed as that second Astro with 19 home runs.
Terrific. Chris has 2 strikes. I have 1 strike. So we are headed into, I believe, our 7th round. And so, Chris, look, if you get this wrong and I get it right, then this game is over.
So if I say a name and I get the wrong spot, I don't get a strike. I just don't get to subtract a strike.
So for what it's worth, I'm happy to make this
That's
pivot.
fair.
I'm
I'm
happy to make
happy
this
to do that
pivot.
as well.
That's fair.
I'm happy to make this
Keep the
pivot, but
game alive.
I want everyone to know, because we had it in there. If you get a player that's on the board but you get the spot wrong, it would be a strike.
That was a bad rule when you said it.
It wasn't a bad rule. It was a really
Now
good
that I'm
rule.
thinking about it, it was kind of a bad rule.
Yeah.
Because you
All
should
right,
still get
then.
credit for getting the guy that's
Whose
on the
side
list.
are we taking here?
The 16, not the 18, with the Astros is Carlos Correa.
Should have done it the other way around.
He's 18. But let's
So
change
I'll
the
give
rule.
you. We changed the rule,
You
so I will give you that Correa is
mother
on there.
I could have won. We've got a lot of fans here with the pitch clock who have really just been following the game through our show, getting their 3 or 4 storylines each week, playing some old nostalgic baseball trivia with us, and going from there, and, have done their best. I've spoken to a lot of people who've said, hey, I've started watching more games here and there, turning on Sunday Night Baseball, following the season and being excited for the postseason, which to me has made my year, knowing that we've had even one person who has decided they're going to watch more baseball.
Right.
But these are some casual fans who are trying to get deeper into it, and we've got the Major League postseason coming up. So as someone who is in love with this game, what would be maybe the advice that you could give to someone who's going to be viewing baseball through that postseason lens on a consistent basis for the very first time as a viewer?
The thing about the postseason, to say that everything is heightened is a ridiculous cliche, obviously true. But a lot of the silly stuff that particularly old timers complain about during regular season games, what they consider breaking the unwritten rules of baseball and showboating, that tends to go away in the postseason. You're getting, the best of what the best have to offer. You see no nonsense in the postseason and efforts to make plays that maybe they don't make in 162. My advice would be, you want to go see home runs, you're sure to see them, Don't look down because there'll be another one. Look for the guy who knows how to play the ball off the wall, make that throw. Look for the catcher who knows how to frame pitches, right? You will see the little things at work, and you see them much more in the postseason.
One of the other things to pay attention to, because this is a space where oftentimes some starting pitchers, the best of the best, can go deeper and deeper into the game and see times, a third or maybe fourth time through the lineup. Watch how pitchers set up hitters for later at-bats. Watch what the pitch sequencing is against the best hitter in the lineup the first time they go through. If it's a lot of fastballs, if it's a lot of sliders, if it's a lot of sweepers, and the way that goes the second time around, because then you might be able to start predicting the third time through, if I'm the hitter, what am I looking for?
Right.
And being able to balance off of that. Those are the little things that happen in the game between that quick action that you're talking about of a stolen base or a tag at third that are the little things that fans can pay attention to. And so let's wrap right here. I asked you for your top 5 baseball players in the history of the game.
Here we go.
You've told me there's
Here
a
we
list.
go.
Let's get to it.
Babe Ruth, he invented the home run and the power game that is now way out of hand. And actually his mechanics and his swing and his use of leverage with his 52-ounce bat before he switched to a 34-ounce bat are really quite modern. Hank Aaron, because he broke the Babe's record when much of America didn't want him to do so, and he did it with extraordinary class, forbearance, and grace.
That's right.
Mickey Mantle, because he generated that expectation, what was going to happen when he came to the plate. What's he going to do? Is it finally going to go out of the ballpark? Is he going to hit it out of Yankee Stadium? Is he going to steal a base on legs that are, bleeding beneath the bandages that they've wrapped him in? Koufax, because the ball came out of his hand differently than anybody else. And I would have put Mariano because, that's another role that's been obviated by the way pitching is now aligned.
Yeah.
And, remember when they were called firemen?
Yeah, right? It's truly.
Firemen.
Truly.
Right.
I love that we have a closer on this list. I love that we have 2 players whose careers were cut short, but their excellence stood out in a way that was necessary. And, of course, 2 of the greatest players to ever play the game and compile stats that are unmatchable without, performance-enhancing drugs.
Quality, not quantity.
Absolutely. Speaking of quality, this has been a really quality conversation. Jane, thank you so much for joining us.
I love you, boyo.
I love you too. This is just the best. This is awesome. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Why are the Yankees so confusing? It's just like,
This
is
is
it
easy, though, in
possible?
hindsight.
All right, Derek Jeter.
Yeah, Derek Jeter is on this list, of course.
All right.
He had 16 career postseason home runs.
I'm going to go with 18 Yankee,
Oh, you're trying to gain a strike.
Alex Rodriguez.
That is 3 strikes,
Yep.
and you are out.
Is there any world where that last
Who knows?
Philly is Ryan Howard?
No.
Who is
you
it?
guys are going to
Chase
love
Utley.
this name. It's Jason Worth.
Wow.
Yes. So I'll fill in the blanks here. So the Dodger with 19 is 2-time World Series MVP with the Dodgers and the Rangers, Corey Seager.
Oh, wow.
I almost
Corey
said was
18.
Justin
Seager.
Turner on here. I almost said Justin Turner.
Justin Turner is 13.
Wow.
He's at the bottom with 13.
Oh, man. Ginger supremacy.
So Giancarlo Stanton has 18.
Good for
18
him.
with the Rangers is Nelson Cruz.
Oh, should have known that.
16 with the Yankees. Can't believe you guys didn't say this name.
Judge.
But Aaron Judge
Yeah.
still has 16 career
That was
postseason
my
home runs.
that was also my I don't know,
Who's the
man.
Astro with 16?
Carlos Beltran had 16 career postseason home
I swear
runs.
he was someone I thought about.
Because remember,
he
he
had that
played with
crazy
the Mets
postseason.
early with the Mets, and then he had a couple with the Astros in like
Yeah.
04, 05, and then later in his career with the Astros
So
as
there's
well.
2 more Dodgers here.
Kike Hernandez with 15 because he's had some great postseasons with the Dodgers and the Red Sox. And then Max Muncy with 13
I
has
never
also
would've
had
gotten
some.
Muncy.
And Justin Turner.
Wow.
Justin Turner
Who's
to
the
round
Philly
it out with
with
13.
15?
The Philly with
Jason
15
Worth.
was Jason Worth. And you know what I'll tell you? It was worth it having Ethan do this because I feel real good about getting a W. Hey, at the start of next week's episode, I'm going to reveal who won more games between the two of us.
Who won?
Where's my Tony
Nice
Reale cam?
reference. You missed. Just like you missed all those names. Winner!